I don't know if you've heard, but that whole adventure cycling, gravel riding thing is pretty big just now, and every brand is trying to get its finger into that sleeping outside pie. Along with a slew of other product launches, Rapha has just released something we never really expected to see, and that is its Explore sleep system. This sees a down jacket paired with a kind of half sleeping bag, which has a nylon shell stitched onto the top half. The idea being that if you use the two in combination, you essentially get a full-length sleeping bag. This isn't a new concept, and other brands out with of the cycling world as well have explored this idea, but it's a new one for Rapha. You could be forgiven for wondering why you'd want a half sleeping bag when advances in materials and technologies means that you can actually get a full sleeping bag impressively small and light, but even then losing out that kind of upper third or upper half does make the bag just that little bit more compressible. And if you're already carrying insulation, a down jacket for your top half, you're kind of doubling up if you've got a full sleeping bag. So the concept's quite sound. Before I go into the nitty-gritty of how the sleeping bag works, I'll just go over the jacket first. The jacket is a fairly typical down jacket, though it is cut a little bit for cycling. It's still got a kind of relaxed fit, so you're not too constricted when you are in the sleeping bag, but it does have some nice details like the reflective logos on the back, and it's got nice hidden elasticated waist adjustments within the pockets. Both the jacket and the sleeping system are DWR coated, which means they have a level of water resistance, but it's worth bearing in mind that down jackets, if they become saturated, the down loses its insulating properties. So if it's your only protection against the cold at night, you will die. I'm going to be honest, I grew up in the Scottish Highlands. I spent a lot of time in tents and bothies, and my dad, the one thing he wanted to push more than anything is that down is useless for those sorts of conditions if it gets wet, which is almost a given if you're going to be riding in northern climes. So I'm a little bit skeptical about the idea of using down in this kind of application, but maybe with global warming we'll have nice dry climates to ride in anyway. So just remember, if you are planning on riding in the jacket in very cold conditions, you will need a waterproof outer layer to protect the down, or you'll die. Do I look cute? It is incredibly packable. No synthetic insulation comes close to how small you can pack down. It's also very, very lightweight. So if it's not wet, it will insulate incredibly well. Though it is worth noting you should never store it packed up for too long, as you can damage the down. The jacket weighs in at 230 grams and the sleeping bag at 270, so 600. It's pretty good, but bear in mind that is a claimed weight. In typical Rapha fashion, it's not cheap, and the jacket comes in at £220 or $295. As for the sleeping bag, which I am going to demonstrate, so it's the same down construction from the waist down. It's got lots of nice little details which make it pretty easy to live with. So we've got a nice elasticated waistband to keep it nice and tight. The hood which goes over the top is a very, very lightweight nylon shell, so you're not adding any additional weight there, but it'll still keep a little bit of heat in. And at the bottom, the sleeping bag is also open, though it does have a cinch cord so you can close it up. It does mean you're able to kind of shuffle around camp awkwardly with your trendy titanium mug. While I may seem less than enamoured, truthfully, if I weigh the whole package up, it does look pretty good. You know, I come from a relatively traditional mountaineering background, so you can expect me to approach it with a bit of scepticism, but really, it is clearly quite well designed. I'd also say that it's a pretty expensive combination, and there's more mainstream brands making comparable kit for much less money. We're going to test it out, but it better be pretty good. Now the thing you've all been waiting for, I'm going to try and get in it. We had a little fiddle with this in the office and it's quite amusing, so you can watch me wriggle my way into a sleeping bag now. So look like a little audax and caterpillar. You see that? That's good, eh? God, is it like watching a birth? Oh, I'm trapped. Is that good? Thanks to Rapha, I'm ready for adventure. So that's it, the Rapha Explore sleeping system. What do you think? Are you a bike packing nerd? Do you have any preferred brands that you like to work with? Or do you think Rapha could be your next choice? As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like or subscribe.